Hey everybody, welcome to Team Eat Sweat Praise October 18th team call. I'm Cindel Glenn. I'm one of the leaders for Team Eat Sweat Pray, and I'm really excited to chat with you guys tonight. As far as announcements this week, probably the big one is the new Team Spirit, which I think, when did they announce this? Late last week or was it early this week, you guys? Anyways, it's going to be, we want at least 20 people on the team, or you have to have a minimum of 20 team members, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It kind of seems, it's not really like a team cup, but kind of similar like that, but it's definitely about like having that team spirit and involving, just being a good team. So anyways, I hope you guys will all be joining us for that. Kate did set up the group already. So it is Team Eat Sweat Pray, and the founder is Kate Noble. So you can look up that. There is information in our team page on it. Aside from any other announcements, oh gosh, I'm gonna blank on the name, you guys. Is it Corps de Force? Is that how you say it? They're going to be launching here very soon. So keep that in mind for any new challengers if they're really looking for a new program. That's going to be a really awesome one. So, all right, today's topic is going to be why people fail this business. Now, I'm going to be, can everybody hear me if I put my notes there? Can you guys still hear me okay? I don't know where the mic is on my computer, but I know sometimes I block it when I'm like talking, so then people can't hear me. If you guys like suddenly can't hear me, like shoot me a text or wave or whatever. So I'm going to do speaker view. Oh, nope, that doesn't let me do it. Okay, never mind. We're just going to jump into it. So topic is why people fail at this business, and I've been doing a lot of personal development in this area, you guys, because I feel like sometimes when you start getting successful at it too, it's really easy to kind of fall back and not be as successful as you have been. So this is an area that I've definitely been trying to work on my personal development, and just want to share it with you and what I'm learning and what I know I'm seeing. I know Kate and Christy, Kendra, I'm sure every one of us can see as people that have been doing this for a little while. You notice different things in different people, and usually the reasons that people fail at this are similar reasons all throughout. So we're going to jump right into this, and I don't know if I should apologize, but I'm going to just tell you right now, you guys, usually I'm like, I would say 80% of the time I'm like rainbows and sunshine. Tonight's call is going to be more like tough love, okay? So if you are a new coach and you're watching a recording, don't freak out, okay? Don't panic. If you are a hobby coach and you're just like, hey, I want to check this out and see what's going on in team calls, don't panic. But if you're a business builder, take everything I'm saying to heart and know that what I'm talking about is because we love you dearly and we want the best for you. Okay, so reason number one for people to fail at this business is because they're not coachable. Now, you guys, it's really hard to admit, and you really have to dig deep and really kind of get to the place, and you have to really ask yourself, okay, am I coachable? Because I know for me, there's really two big reasons that people don't see success in this business. It's one, they aren't following the system because they don't trust it. Or two, they're not following the system because they think they can do it better or faster, they're smarter, or whatever it is. It's a little bit of an arrogance. And I'm going to tell you guys, like I said, I'm going to be totally honest. I fell in that second category. I kind of failed out of a few different trainings. I just didn't partake. I kind of was like, oh, I think I was really wanting to make this a business, but I wasn't treating it that way, which is going to lead into number two, but I'll talk about that in a second. Don't do that, you guys, okay? Because I know that was a reason I struggled with this right away. And I really wish I would have dove into those trainings, and really, I wish I would have been more coachable right from the beginning instead of letting a year go by and then realizing, wow, these people know what they're talking about. I should probably be jumping on, okay? We all have different backgrounds, you guys. Every one of us, different backgrounds, different stories, different lives all around. But I believe that we're all pretty smart people. We all have different things to add to our team. We're all valuable people, and we're not only valuable for our personally sponsored coaches, but also for our challengers and different things like that. But unless your background is in network marketing, if that's what you came into this with, awesome. But if it's not, which I'm guessing is the vast majority, I would say probably 95% of us, if I can dare say that, probably come into this without any network marketing background at all. So that being said, this is new territory. You guys, we have systems in place to help you along. Take advantage of them. Are you getting into our trainings? We have a good new Coach Basics group. And this isn't just for new coaches, you guys. This is for veteran coaches that you've been doing this for a while and maybe you're struggling. Jump into that group. You'll notice that our new cover photo, it has information for new coaches. So you can just click on that photo, and then over in the description, it has all these links that are just valuable links for new coaches, including a new self-guided Coach Basics, which is really nice. So you can go at your own pace if that's what you want to do versus jumping into like the Coach Basics group that we host every single month. And keep in mind, guys, this Coach Basics group, like we made it a revolving group. So you get to take yourself out when you're ready. So we are constantly going to be updating this. We're going to be adding new information. And when you feel like, okay, I feel like I've gotten this down, then you can take yourself out the group. But if you feel like you fall off of it, that group is there for you the next month, okay? And you can jump right back into the trainings. So be coachable. Always be willing to be a student. And I think that's with anything in life, you guys. We always have to be working to improve ourselves. You can't just think that you know it all, okay? Because I promise I don't know it all. The other leaders on this team, we don't know it all. But we are dedicated to bringing the best information we can to you. And as that improves and flows out, we're going to bring that. Okay, so that's number one. Number two reason for people failing in this business is they're not willing to treat it like it's a business. Okay, so don't think that you can call yourself a business builder and then treat this like a hobby and think you're going to get paid like a business. That's not how this works, okay? If you are going to act like a hobby coach, you're going to get paid like a hobby coach. If you want to act like a business builder, then you need to act like the business builder to get paid that way. Now, we know this is not all about money. This is more about how many people we're helping and everything else. So that being said, if you are going, gosh, but Cyndall, I am working my butt off. I feel like I am messaging people all the time. I don't know what else I can possibly do. And you're not feeling like you're seeing that end result that you're hoping to see, you have to be tracking, you guys. Tracking was not something I did right away either. You have to track who you're talking to. Because when I started tracking, I had a total eye-opener of, wow, here I thought I was inviting to this opportunity. I wasn't. I thought I was hitting enough people and inviting them to challenge groups and doing all the things I was supposed to do. I wasn't, you guys. Like, you have to track these things. You can't say, gosh, I had this crazy busy week and I talked to all these people and I know I'm working on my business. But are you just talking or are you actually working on the business? Okay, so you really have to track in those. And keep in mind, you guys, we have a diamond group going on now that, it's a quick little checklist thing where you can see, am I actually doing these steps? Because if you're not checking off those boxes, and this can go for any of them, this just goes right back to our Coach Basics group too. If you're not being able to check off those boxes, then you're really not working this as a business. So you can't say that the business doesn't work when you're really not working. Does that make sense? Okay, sorry. Like I said, tough love tonight. All right, we're gonna go on to number 3. This is gonna be pretty quick, guys. So number 3 reason that people fail in this business is because they are just not willing to step out of their comfort zone. I absolutely love this quote by Neil Donald Walsh. It's, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Now, you guys, I'm a total introvert, okay? I would classify myself as the outgoing introvert. I have no problem talking to people one-on-one. In small groups, I'm okay. If I'm like in a big function or something like that, or somebody that I'm like acquaintances with that I feel like I should know them better, but I really don't, I have the hardest time talking to them. So this entire business is so out of my comfort zone, like completely out of my comfort zone. But I cannot believe how much confidence I've gained with it. Okay, so like it took a lot of practice for me to really get comfortable talking to people and reaching out to people. And now that I've been doing this for a couple years, like, it's so much easier, and I don't have as much of a problem. I don't mind going and talking to strangers and reaching out and connecting with others. But right away, it feels really strange. So if you're like me and you're like more that introvert personality, and this can go for extroverts too, some people that are extroverts, they do really good face-to-face, but it might seem awkward because so much of our stuff is on social media. So, I mean, it might be out of your comfort zone no matter what type of person you are, like what you could describe yourself as. But that being said, you just have to practice at it. And you guys, if you just decide that you're going to busy yourself with getting ready with your thinking that I'm just going to practice talking to people and I'm going to jump into these trainings and I'm going to figure it all out, but you never actually implement and do this because you're too scared to, you're scared to step out and actually, you know, take off, actually fly with this. If you've been doing all this prep work and not actually do it, you're never going to actually leave the ground, okay? So there's no sense in you jumping into these trainings and trying to work your butt off, trying to get ready and never do anything. You guys, you're wasting your time if that's what you're doing. Don't do that, okay? So that being said, just jump out and you have to start talking to people. Now, if you, no, this is like a warning for all coaches. If you are afraid that you're going to make a mistake and that's what's holding you back, if you're like, I don't want to talk, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing? What if I, you know, I don't even know, tell them to do a challenge pack that is totally wrong for them? What if I mess up? Guys, if that's what's holding you back, then once again, you're wasting your time because you have to just be willing to make a mistake because I've made mistakes. I've made multiple mistakes and every single person is going to make a mistake. You're going to make a mistake with coaching. You're going to make a mistake with something that you said. You're going to send the wrong message. You guys, those wonderful scripts that we give you, they are awesome. But you know what really sucks is when you copy and paste and forget to take somebody's name out and you send it to the wrong person. I've done that. Anybody else have a show of hands? Who else has done that? Thank you. See, I'm not the only one. Or it's really great. This is probably my favorite story. And it was not my favorite for a long time. It took me a long time to be willing to admit I even did this. I was going through my script and I didn't realize, you know how like sometimes you can just hit enter and it'll send it instead of like actually entering it down. So here I like copy and paste my little script thing with all the things like the little quotations where we're like, enter challenger's name here and like do this. And this is where you put their link, all of that stuff. I hit enter thinking I was bumping it down and it sent it to this girl. And she wrote back, haha, good. I think she said, good luck with your little business. I felt like this small, you guys, like so tiny. I felt like such a schmuck. And I was like, I can't believe I did this. And it took me probably months before I'm sure I told Kate and Christy about it. And now I can laugh about it. But I'm like, at the time, I was like mortified. And it was those little things, like once you make those little mistakes and you're going to make them, everybody does. And you know what? You're not going to stop making them. You get better at it. Sometimes you just make bigger mistakes. You know, I've posted on the wrong days. Sometimes I've forgotten check-ins. You know, everybody makes a mistake. Don't let that be the reason that you're not willing to jump into this is because you're afraid to make a mistake. Now, here's a warning to everybody that's maybe had a little bit of a taste of success in this business. Sometimes when we get successful and we've been like a business builder for a little while and we've been doing good, it's really easy for us to all of a sudden get scared of that success. Okay. I know I've done it. I've been there. Like you get on that brink and you're like, oh, I'm doing so good and you're on a roll. And then you just stop. And what you end up doing is, gosh, here I've built this team, and you end up falling back on your team. And I can tell you because I've done it, you guys, where you're thinking, okay, that's the beauty of this business is that you do have this team that's going to help carry you through those rough spots. You have this awesome team behind you, but you guys have to do the bit work too. You know, I think Kate mentioned this on her last call, you know, you have 80% of your time that you're working in this business has to be dedicated to actually growing your business, 20% on your team. Don't let those flip-flop. And it's really easy to do when you start getting that taste of success and you start seeing these coaches underneath you and they're building and you're wanting so badly for them to like build their business and you're really, really helping and spending a lot of time there that you forget to work your own business, okay? You have to be hitting Success Club every single month because I'll tell you what, your personally sponsored coaches, they're watching you. That is who they're looking to and what they're wanting to implement, okay? So when you're not hitting Success Club, they're not gonna hit Success Club, okay? All right, so we're gonna move on to reason number 4. Number 4, you can't connect with your why. Now, this might sound, I think, let's just take a moment. I know everybody's kind of taking notes now. I want you to think about what exactly is your why. You can just write down a brief little note on what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why did you say yes to this wonderful opportunity? And just kind of keep that in your mind. Now, keep in mind this why, you guys, it has to be big enough that when life isn't going the way that we think it should, that this sucker is bulletproof, okay? Because the thing is, this business is full of highs and full of lows, and highs and lows, and that is just how it goes. It's this roller coaster ride where you're gonna get some success and everything's gonna seem good, and all of a sudden it's gonna be like totally on the brakes, and everybody's gonna be telling you no, and it's not a good time for them, and hello, holiday season is coming up. These are kind of like the worst months usually. I mean, you can talk to any successful coach, whether they're way, way, way high in their 15-star diamonds or wherever they are. The holiday season's a tough time. So you might be doing great up until now, and then all of a sudden people are like, no, I can't do that because I need to buy gifts and whatnot. Highs and lows, you guys, because the work that you're putting in now, that's going to pay off in the months to come after the holidays, because January, that's when people want in, okay? January is when they're like all of a sudden like, New Year's resolutions, let's do this, okay? So keep in mind those highs and lows, that's normal. And it's normal for everybody. But if you don't have a why behind you that's totally bulletproof, you're gonna let your life get in your way. And the difference between a hobby coach, you guys, and a business builder is a hobby coach, when life gets busy, which it does for everybody, don't think you're special and think that you're the only one with a busy life. Every single one of us, no matter what it is that you do, whether you're staying home with your kids or you are working 40 hours a week, everybody's life is busy. We have the same 24 hours. The hobby coach is going to let their life get in the way. They're not going to make this a priority. The business builder, they're going to go, okay, this is a priority. I'm going to get it done. Okay, that's how it works. So make sure that why is big enough. Okay. And we're going to talk about our why at the end here, okay? So number 5, this is probably my favorite one. Number 5 reason that you will fail at this business is you just can't get over yourself. Now that sounds vain, right? Like that sounds totally like, what does that even mean? It's you're too worried about what other people think. It's you're consumed about all of the what ifs, and what if I reach out to this person and they say this, or what if they tell me no, all those what ifs, and you make up those stories in your head. Been there, done it. I still do it sometimes where I'm like freaked out to like actually message somebody because you're going, oh, what are they going to think of me? You know, everybody does this, you guys. But you have to get over that. If you're too scared to dream big and really see the big picture, then you're going to be stuck in that hobby coach, okay? You're not going to be moving forward as a business builder. And remember, you guys, anything that's really worth it in life, it's going to make you nervous. It's going to make your palms sweat. But we just have to get over ourselves, because we have an awesome opportunity to share this with other people. Not only are we really obligated for our challengers, but we're obligated for other coaches too. You know, you just never know when somebody is like, I have a dead end job that I hate. Like they want out of it so bad and they just don't know a way out. You guys, that's why we're here. We're here to offer them an out. And I can tell you guys, I have a pretty good job. You know, I really love working as a labor delivery nurse. I have an awesome gig, but I don't like the politics that go into a hospital. I certainly don't like the sassiness and the wonderful cattiness that comes with a ton of female coworkers that aren't extremely positive, which is so not how this community is ran. You know, we are a positive group, and I'm gonna say mostly women because I know we got some awesome men in this group too, but we are a positive group of people, and you don't always see that in a hospital setting. So as much as I love my job, I'm not going to be sad after this 4th baby comes to go PRN and get to do it when I want to do it and get to focus more on this, because this is what brings a lot more positivity, and I'm excited about that. Okay. So whatever your excuse is, you know, if it's I'm just too scared to say anything to anybody, or it's, I don't know what to say, or it's, I don't have the time, whatever that excuse is, you have to let it go and just get over yourself. Okay. All right. There's my tough love. How do we do? Nobody like burst into flames. So I think that's good. All right. Now here's a little bonus. We're going to do an action plan. Okay. Now, if you're watching the recording, you have to do this too. So I'm going to have you guys write down kind of some questions, and some of these answers might be a little bit longer depending on where you're sitting. I know some of us, like, we firmly know what our why is and we know what to put. But some of us are going to have to dig a little deeper. And that's kind of what I want you to do with this action plan, is to really dig deep with this and really peel back, because it's really easy to say, I'm doing this for my kids, or I'm doing this for my family. But we're going to get a little deeper. Okay. So action plan. First, number one, there's going to be 4 different steps with this. Okay, guys. So number one, we're going to find your real why, and we want to write it down. And I want you to think about this as like peeling back the layers, really digging deep, and figuring out exactly why are you doing this. Because there are people, you guys, that say, well, it's because I have kids going to college and I really want to be able to pay off their student loans, and I want to pay off those things, but then they don't work for it. That why obviously is not big enough for them. Or there's people that are like, well, I'd really like to bring my husband home so he can retire, or whatever. Why I want to go on a family vacation, but then they don't put in the work. That's obviously not a good enough why. Whatever your why is, it has to be really good enough. And as I've been going through this wonderful personal development, I always said, well, my why is because for my family, and I want to get us out of farming debt and everything else, because you're a farmer's wife or anything like that. We deal with big numbers, and those big numbers often are negative. Okay. So that's definitely one of my whys. But the more and more I read, now some of you guys might think this is totally selfish, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. The honest to God truth of why I really want to do this is because I want something for myself. I love being a mom, but I am planning on going PRN after this 4th baby comes, and I'm going to think that's so awesome. But I've always wanted something that's for me too, which is why I've loved being a nurse, and why I probably won't ever be able to actually quit my job, because I love that piece and that's my thing. And as much as I love being home with my kids and I feel so fulfilled as a parent, I want to have something that's mine. And you guys, this is mine. There's days that I feel like I'm the crappiest mom and I have no patience. And by the end of the day, I can sit down and do my messages and it relaxes me. And I'm like, okay, this is my thing. And it's that feeling that you get. And maybe those that are not parents in this group just won't get this at all. But the way that you feel prior to becoming a parent, because so many things change, it's like a part that I get to feel like myself, truly just me, versus being the mom role, which you guys, the mom role never stops. It just doesn't. Every day, night, day, doesn't matter. That just never stops. And I think when I had to really think about my why initially, you always put your family first, which is what we all naturally do. And it felt really selfish to me to think that I had to put it myself first. But you guys, ever since I realized that, I'm like, that's really why I want to do this. I want it because it's my baby and I want to take care of that. So really think hard on this why. Don't just write down, well, I want to pay off some debt or whatever, which, obviously if that is truly your why and that's why you're doing it, do it. But it has to be a bulletproof why, you guys. Really dig deep. Why are you really doing this? So number 2, this is the second part of your action plan. Write down why it's important to you. Be very specific. You need to say, how is it going to change your life? How is it going to change your family's life? What is this why? What is this reason that you're pulling this? Why is it important to you? The third part, if you don't achieve this, is it going to cause you pain? And in what way is it going to cause you pain? How is it going to affect you if you don't achieve this goal? If your goal is, I want to be diamond by whenever, if you don't achieve that, how is that going to affect you? Or if it's, I just want to get my Shakeology paid for, how is that going to affect you if you don't reach that goal? I'm not going too fast, am I, guys? Everybody's getting it down. Okay. And then number 4, 5 years from now, if you don't jump into this, so way ahead, 5 years from now, where are you going to be if you don't do this? If you don't decide that your why is big enough, if you don't decide that you can do this and that you can actually build this as a business, where are you going to be? Are you going to be in the same place? Do you have a job right now that you just don't really like? I don't know, are you in a relationship? There's tons of different scenarios that you can look at. Are you going to be in the same place? Because you guys, whether you like it or not, the time's going to fly by. that 5 years is going to go fast. I mean, I think we can all think back 5 years ago where we were at and go, I can't believe that's already happened. You know, like I can't believe my oldest is going to be 7 years old. Like, that's just weird. Like, it's crazy. The time flies by. So are you going to work during this 5 years or are you not? So where are you going to be if you don't do this? So after you write down all those questions and answers for the next 30 days, can you all promise, like Pinky promised me this, for the next 30 days, you're going to read this every day, whether it's first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed. You guys, this why has to be that important to you. And it really has to just be the reason why you're wanting to do this and run with it. And it has to get you through those lows, because you're going to have lows. We all do. You're not special if you all of a sudden have a low. Okay. That's just how it is. Everybody has them. All right. There's my spiel. Questions, takeaways. If you have to jump off this call, go right ahead. We won't be offended by any means. So we'll try to keep it short, but guys have questions for me?
I liked that can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, I'm having weird mic problems, so I apologize. And later on our call, I'm going to have to get the list from you because you were mute. I couldn't hear you the whole time. So during the list part. But anyways, I really liked when you used the word conviction, and like I wrote it down because I think about all the things that even as a society, but especially just as us as women and as moms, that we're convicted about, you know, like things that would never be okay, or things that, you know, are good or right, and like our morals and our values. And like, you wouldn't show up to work at the hospital only half there, and you wouldn't call in and say you're just not coming, or tell your patient like, oh, you rang your buzzer. Well, I'm kind of like tired right now and I'm busy scrolling Facebook. And so I just thought like conviction, because we use that in so many other areas of our life. And I think coaching, at least I sometimes am like, okay, this is a side gig when I feel like I need it to be. And that's not right, because I am convicted about it and I do believe in it, and I can't treat it like it's something that just when everything else is up that it can be pushed aside. So I liked that.
And it's so easy to do that. I mean, I know I've done it multiple times where you're like, oh, I'm just so busy, and this is the last thing that gets, you know, pushed to the side. And you have to decide that it's a priority, and you have to make that decision for yourself. So anybody else have questions, takeaways? Everybody terrified of the tough love? I don't know.
I loved it. All of those like are so spot on, like completely spot on. The fifth one, which you shared, which was getting over yourself. This one was probably the hardest for me, just being worried about what other people think. And that was also an area for personal development for me. And I think that like I just like sharing your story, like even going to the list that Sindel had you do for this action plan, all of these things you should be sharing with your people. You know, these are things that connect you with them. And those were things that I had such a hard time with, or worrying about what other people thought. So don't do that. So that one I think was like the strongest and most powerful for me, especially when I first started out. I also like each one of these are spot on, and it goes back to, well, how do I fix this? Like, how can I be more coachable? And just as like Sindel was sharing at the beginning, personal development. The answer to like every single one of these is getting into personal development, or you're going to struggle somewhere along the line. I mean, even I would probably say Sindel, Christy, Kendra, like anyone who's been doing this for a while, like you go back and forth. You're never going to be perfect. There's going to be times when you're not coachable. So you always have to go back to the personal development. And so I love, like, from the beginning, like you shared, like this is hitting you because of the personal development that you're doing. So spot on. I love it. And I'm excited to read my action plan every morning. And I think we should challenge each other to also share it with our team, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe not now, so you have time to think about it, but go live on a video on the team page and share that. Like, hold yourself to it. Like, if you're serious, why not, right? If you want to be more vulnerable, if you want to not worry about what other people think, like share it with our team. So I love
sorry. Free area, like share away there.
Yes, exactly. There's no right or wrong answer either. So whatever is right for you.
And then save it, because if it's really good, then you can share it on your page.
Yes.
I was just going to say too, I just listened to Chalene, and I don't remember which call, because I listen to like 1 million Chalenes a week. And sometimes I listen to Chalene not because I even want to be implementing things, but because I like need her in my life to like boost me up or give me a kick in the face or whatever. But she was talking about this a little bit, in that sometimes we, in being coachable, like that we are business owners, and so we want to own what we're doing, and we feel like by allowing others or asking others for help that we aren't doing that. And she was like, that's such a wrong mindset. Like, I wrote a book and I had to go and I paid $10,000 to talk to somebody who knows more about books than I know. Because even though I'd like to be the expert on books, I'm not. Like, she isn't the expert on all things. And that was like kind of humbling for me, that I don't have to be the expert, that it's okay to go to someone who does something better than me to get help. And it's okay to admit that somebody does something better than me.
I so agree. Yes.
Can I share one other thing that goes back to the getting over yourself? And even lately, I've been struggling with that. Like, I feel like on social media, I'm like, man, I've already shared that before. People don't want to see that. Like, you get into that rut no matter how long you've been doing it. And it was so perfect, because our sermon on Sunday was about who cares? Like, who cares what other people think? Like, God is the ultimate judge. So if you have any like spiritual background, like, for me, I know this is where God wants me. This is where I'm supposed to be at this time in my life. And I want to follow that. And so why would I ever think that he's wrong? And by not sharing or not reaching out to people, I am holding back from an opportunity that he's blessed us all with. So anyways, that's really been like on my mind. So I'm so glad you shared that, because I think in any journey, it's easy to fall back into that. And that's lately like where I have been, is worrying about what other people think when I shouldn't. And I know that I don't. So
it's such a weird thing, because I think we all are like, I don't really care what other people think, but then we do.
Right? Deep down, there's something that's stopping me, and I think that you can't be that way if you want to be a business builder. You have to just go and do and trust.
I so agree. I know I've been struggling a lot with, I'm like, gosh, I don't think anybody wants to see another baby belly pic.
Me too.
No, we do.
Like, you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. But then I'm like, I don't know who's seeing this stuff. I might be inspiring some other mama out there. So.
Right. And I always like try to look at, like, if you have a page, or when people unlike you, or if they say no to you and maybe they're not very nice, like the girl that messaged you back after you had that error, I think, you know what? I'm glad that I've sorted myself out from that person, because I'm not the person that's going to connect with them. So if you ever feel that way, like, think of it as a blessing, because those aren't your people. They're not your tribe. The people that turn you down, or the people that put you down or question what you're doing or unlike your page, you are just narrowing down your audience. And that's actually a good sign, because it means you're not just trying to invite the whole world. You are getting an audience that connects to you.
Exactly. And sometimes those haters, you guys, can be some of the closest people to you.
I've been battling that this week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's like more reason to be like, I'm going to do this.
Oh yeah. It feels
like, I cannot wait to prove you wrong. Like, I believe in this so much. It's exciting.
Yeah. It is exciting. And it actually really fuels me. I'm like, okay, bring it on.
Do you guys have anything to add at all? Questions, concerns, things you're struggling with right now? Okay, well, we'll wrap it. Thank you, ladies, for jumping on. You guys are awesome. Everybody that's watching the recording, peace out. All right, bye.